Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Art of Creation Homestead. It's July 3rd, Sunday, July 3rd, 2022, and we're on the cusp of July 4th, Independence Day, a day we celebrate freedom. Freedom, freedom, freedom. We enjoy all kinds of freedoms in our society. All kinds of freedoms do we enjoy. You know, obviously we're free. We're not slaves. We've got a lot of freedoms in America that we do enjoy. For instance, freedom to raise chickens. Come on, Tootie. Freedom to raise a garden. We're free to defend ourselves, right? We're free to live a life, to go to and from, to go to our job, to go shopping, to do whatever we want to do, to drive a car, to vote. We have a lot of freedoms in this society. Now, unfortunately, a lot of them are limited, obviously, by your local governments and whatnot, and that's just life. But you still have the choice, right? You still have the choice to go and disobey those laws. You could disobey the law, but you do have consequences for your actions. Even though we're free, we have a guideline we have to live by, or face consequences for those actions. And we do appreciate those freedoms that we have in America. And as a Christian, we're free from sin. Do we sin? Yes. Yes. But we're free from slavery to it. We have a choice. We don't have to sin. We know better. But sometimes we make mistakes, right? Make bad decisions. And in 1 Peter chapter 2, it's a heck of a chapter, but 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9, the Apostle Peter writes, "But you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a people belonging to God, that you may declare the praises of him who called you out of darkness." He called you out of the darkness into his wonderful light. So we've been called out of that darkness and into his light. Okay, we know it. We're aware of that. Once you were not a people, but now you are the people of God. Once you had not received mercy, but now you have received mercy. Verse 11, "Dear friends, I urge you as aliens and strangers in the world to abstain from sinful desires which war against your soul. Live such good lives among the pagans that though they accuse you of doing wrong, they may see your good deeds and glorify God on the day he visits us. Submit yourselves for the Lord's sake to every authority instituted among men, whether to the king or as the supreme authority, or to governors who are sent by him to punish those who do wrong and to commend those who do right." So, hey, even though you're people, even though you're free, you gotta submit yourself to the authorities in this country, right? All right. "For it is God's will that by doing good you should silence the ignorant talk of foolish men. Live as free men, but do not use your freedom as a cover-up for evil. Live as servants of God. Show proper respect to everyone. Love the brotherhood of believers. Fear God. Honor the king." I love that chapter. I love that series of scriptures there. And this, by the way, this subject of freedom. Live as free men. But basically, don't use it as an excuse to be evil. Don't use your freedom as an excuse to sin. Don't use your freedom as an excuse to harm others, to not love others. Don't use your freedom. Don't abuse your freedom. How about that? Don't abuse your freedom. That is abuse of freedom. Hey, you're free. The Apostle Paul wrote that everything is permissible for me, but not everything is beneficial. Okay? That's a big deal. And you have the right to do what you want. It doesn't mean it's a good idea. But that is the deal with freedom. You have freedom. Don't abuse your freedom. Don't abuse your freedoms in this country. You're free to do as you want. And as a Christian, you are free from sin. You're free, in God's sight. But there's consequences to your actions. There's absolutely consequences to your actions. There's consequences to abusing that freedom. Things happen. People can get hurt. Which, by the way, that's what Peter was talking about in this series of scripture. Is to show proper respect to everyone, even the government, right? Yes, even your local governments, your state governments, your federal governments. You got to respect everybody, because if you're not doing those things, then you're not glorifying God. That's honest. God may call you free, and you may have a different set of standard, as a Christian, than what the standards are set by in this country. But God still wants you to respect those people. God still wants you to love those people. Even if they don't have the same standard that you have, You love them. You respect them. You show proper respect for everyone, including cackling chickens. That's truly something I want us to think about this week, is yes, we're free. Absolutely, celebrate your freedom. Celebrate your freedom in America. Celebrate your freedom as a Christian. Celebrate your freedom in Christ, because we have that. You absolutely are free, and you no longer have to worry about, as a Christian, your past sins. They're gone. It's done. It's over. You've been forgiven of that, and you're free from that slavery and that bondage that held you down and gave you, and without hope, right? So you're free. Let's celebrate all these freedoms. That's wonderful. And even in America, celebrate your freedom in America. But even if you're not a Christian, okay, if you're watching this and you're not a Christian, don't use your freedom in America to harm others. Well, I'm free. I can do what I want. The heck with you. Okay, fine then. Sometimes there's consequences to those actions, right? But also, the consequence could just be that you're causing problems. the consequence could just be that it's another canker sore in the culture of America that's causing infection across our country, because you just don't care about nobody else but yourself, which is a problem. Even if you're free, hey, you can choose to just care about yourself, right? And that's you have that freedom. But if you take that freedom and abuse it, which is, by the way, not caring about anybody but yourself, right? Then that's the problem. And that kind of infection just spreads across our culture and our society, and slowly causes the problems that we face even today, of division, of hatred, of just utter malice and selfishness. Because I'm free and I can do what I want. Just because you can do what you want doesn't mean that you should. It doesn't mean you shouldn't think about somebody else. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't just love somebody no matter what. Sometimes the hardest thing to do is love somebody no matter what. To love somebody who doesn't love you. But you know what? You're also free to do that. You're also free to make good choices too. So why don't we just make those good choices this week? Use our freedom to love somebody rather than to hate somebody. Use our freedom to help somebody rather than to harm somebody. You are free. Don't abuse it. Okay? Thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate that. Again, my name is Jason. This is Our Creation Homestead. If you have prayer requests, praise reports, any comments below, I want to hear from you. Even if you don't like me, I want to hear from you. Okay, thank you guys so much. We do love y'all. God bless you and goodbye.